I would like to call this meeting of the Brick Township Council to order. Adequate notice of this meeting was provided and published in the Asbury Park Press on December 20th, 2013. Copies of the agenda were provided to the newspapers, posted on public bulletin boards and the Township website. At this time, the VFW Post 8867 will present its colors, and we will have a salute to the flag led by Boy Scout Troop 33. Please stand and remain standing through the national anthem being sung by Marissa Patella and the invocation which will be given by Reverend Dean.
Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fights o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Let us pray. God our Father, we give you thanks for the freedom we experience and the many blessings of democracy we enjoy in these United States of America. We lift up to you on this first day of the new year the leaders and servants of the Brick community. Help them to understand the issues and concerns that confront our town. We pray that you guide them and unite them with a common purpose, dedication, and commitment to achieving liberty and justice in the upcoming year for the people they serve, especially for those who are the most vulnerable in our midst. We pray to you who are Lord and God forever and ever. Amen. Amen.
Please be seated. The official results of the election held on November 5th, 2013, certified by the county clerk are as follows. Mayor, John Ducey, 13,826. Joseph Sangiovanni, 8,496. Council, Mary Ann Ponterero, 11,185. Paul Mumolo, 10,860. Heather DeYoung, 10,815. Victoria Chadwick, 10,159. John Siaco, 10,035. Dominic Brando, 9,922. At this time, the Honorable Judge James D. Klein will administer the oath of office to Mayor John Ducey.
Underneath. Nope. In there.
John, I would ask that you repeat after me. I, John Ducey, do solemnly swear
I, John Ducey, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of office of mayor
of office of mayor
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I solemnly swear
and that I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Here we go. And another one. And one more.
At this time, Mayor Dana L. Redd will administer the oath of office to Councilwoman Heather DeYoung.
Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Heather DeYoung,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully
At this time, Charles E. Starkey, Esquire, will administer the oath of office to Councilman Paul Mumolo.
It's difficult following Abraham Lincoln and then Eric King, but we'll try.
Squeeze in the picture.
I, Paul Mumolo, solemnly swear
I, Paul Maholo, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of councilman
of the office of councilman
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability,
And I solemnly swear
and I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Okay, and over this way.
At this time, Alan J. Kornblatt, Esquire, will administer the oath of office to Councilwoman Mariana Pontiero.
Mariana.
I, Mariana Pontorero,
I, Mariana Pontorero,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties of the office of councilwoman
perform all the duties of councilwoman
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I solemnly swear
and that I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of this United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Okay, look right here.
So,
I will take the roll call. Councilwoman Lydecker.
Here.
Councilman Moore.
Here.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Here.
Councilman Mumolo.
Here.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Here.
Councilman Fosman.
Here.
Thank you. At this time, I will call for nominations for the 2014 Council President.
I would like to nominate Councilwoman Susan Lydecker. During Susan's 2 years on council, she has shown tremendous growth and knowledge of this town, and she is the best person to lead this council and work with Mayor Ducey and his administration on the reforms and initiatives to make Brick better. Susan is not only a great councilwoman, but I am proud to call her my friend, and she has my full support as council president.
I will second that nomination.
Are there any other nominations? Seeing none, may I have a motion to close the nominations?
I make a motion.
I close. Second.
The roll call for Council President, for Councilwoman Lydecker to be Council President is, start with Councilwoman Lydecker.
Yes.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontoriero.
Yes.
Councilman Fosman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Works.
At this time, Mayor John Ducey will swear in Council President Susan Lydecker.
I, Susan Lydecker, do solemnly swear
I, Susan Lydecker, do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly
perform all the duties
perform all of the duties
of office of President of the Township Council
of office of President of the Township Council
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I solemnly swear
and that I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I would have done this sooner if I knew everyone was so polite. At this time, I will make the call for a nomination of second of Council Vice President.
I would like to nominate Jim Fosman as Vice President. Jim has shown us in the last 2 years in which he's worked on this council that he can work tirelessly, and he is exemplary in his ability to show leadership and take this town in the right direction. For all those reasons, I believe that Jim Fosman should be our Vice President.
I'd like to second it.
Thank you. At this time, seeing no further motions for Council Vice President, I shall close. Can I get a motion and a second, please?
Motion to
I already
close?
have it. Thank
I
you.
have it.
Madam Clerk, can you please read the roll call for the Council Vice President vote?
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero?
Yes.
Vice President Fosman?
Yes.
President Leidecker?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, I would like to invite Mayor William G. Schroeder to the podium for the swearing-in of our new vice president for the 2014 term. Thank you. You're good.
I would just like to make a couple comments first, seeing as how we're the younger community of Camden, the borough of Point Pleasant, and at one time we were also part of Bricktown. That being said, I am very proud of this community to have elected such a wonderful group of people to represent them and to bring you into the next number of years with great success and a bright future. And I've known Jim for a number of years now, and I just want to say I'm very proud to be a part of any program that you have, and I'm exceptionally proud to be able to swear him in today. Thank you.
I, Jim Fosman,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform the duties
perform the duties
of the office of Vice President of the Township Council,
of office of the Vice President of the Township Council,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
and that I solemnly swear
that I solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
and the governance established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
and under the authority of the people,
and under the authority of the people,
so help me
so
God.
help me God.
Thank you very much.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our new mayor, Mayor John G. Ducey, for his opening remarks.
Looking out into the audience today, I see so many people out there who have been very helpful to myself and also very helpful to this town. And I want to start by thanking all of you, everybody here, for coming out today for this great celebration. Thank you very much for coming tonight. I want to recognize some people in particular. Maniloking Mayor George Nebel, Point Pleasant Borough Mayor Bill Schroeder, Camden Mayor Dana Red, Councilman of South Toms River Greg Hanchy, Councilman of Maniloking Peter Strome, Amy Bellegarde, who's the freeholder of Burlington County, former BRIC officials, former council members Al Troberchinsky, Mary Lou Powner, Kathy Russell, and Mike Tulene, and Fred Underwood, as well as Kim Caston. And if there's anybody I missed, I apologize. I've been trying to keep my eye on the room as people came in the door. And also, I know there's another room across the hall where there may be people over there. If there is anybody there that I missed, I apologize, and thank you as well for coming out in support of my new administration. There's also representatives of both Senator Cory Booker and Senator Robert Menendez's office here as well, and thank you for coming out. I also want to give special thanks to Judge Klein for swearing me in. I had started my legal career as a law clerk for Judge Klein back in 1995 after graduating from law school. Also thank Father Dean for being a part of the ceremony, as well as Rabbi Rubin, who's yet to be heard, but we will hear from you. And a great thank you to Marissa Patella, who did an unbelievable job with the national anthem. I'm so proud of you. It was great. Also, a thank you to the VFW, as well as the Troop 33 for coming and helping us out with the Pledge of Allegiance and the colors today. That was great, as well as the Friendly Sons of the Shillelagh, the bagpipers, who were able to play out in the hallway for us as we walked in and brought the colors into the courtroom here today. Thank you, everybody. I also want to thank my mom and sister for all the support you've given me, and my wife Deirdre and my son Jack for all the hours that I'm taking away from them for running for office, or actually all the future hours that I'm not going to be around. I also want to thank all the people who I'm going to be working closely with over the next 4 years in the important job of building Brick and making Brick a better place. I want to thank the people who I ran with 2 years ago: Susan Leidecker, Jim Fosman, Bob Moore, and of course my current running mates, who we just had an election 2 months ago: Heather DeYoung, Mariana Ponterero, and Paul Mumolo. I look forward to working with all of you over the next few years, because we do have a lot of work that needs to be done. I also want to thank my transition team. There's a number of township residents who have volunteered and donated their time to help me out with my transition. And one of the things they helped me do is create what I call a 100-day plan for Brick. And I'm going to be talking a lot about that here today. I want to thank all the department heads, Mr. Pizarris, all the department heads, all the Brick Township employees, and lastly, most importantly, I want to thank all the residents of Brick for having the confidence in me to be the right person to do this job here in Brick. I also want to say that I have the confidence, too, in all of the people of Brick, because I know that we can all work together as a community to make Brick the greatest place it can be. And I look forward to working with everybody in Brick, every resident, to get Brick back on track. Today, I am releasing a 100-day plan to outline what I want to accomplish in the first 100 days of my administration. I'm actually going to have it posted online as well, so that there's accountability. So it's not something that's lip service up here, and, oh, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, 100-day plan. I want to have it up there on the website so people can go to it and say, oh, wait a minute, what about number 23? You said you were going to do number 23, whatever that may be. You didn't do it. That'll make me work that much harder. And that means I need to get it done. Because if it's up there, it's something I want to do, it's something that should be done for the good of the town, and it's something that will be done. I'm going to be talking about a number of ideas from the 100-day plan. But the first thing that I need to do, that's part of the 100-day plan, is I have to rescind an executive order which has been in place that didn't allow township employees to speak with members of the council. And why am I going to do this? It's something that needs to be done because we need communication. If we're going to fix the things that we need to fix, if we're going to accomplish the things that we need to accomplish, we need to work together. So council, as of this moment, has full right to speak with all employees. All of us, elected officials up here, residents, employees, we all need to work together, and we can get Brick back on the right track. As mayor, I plan on definitely working with all of you. I want to meet with all of you. Whoever has ideas, complaints, suggestions. And the way I'm going to do that, I'm going to have what's called Mayor's In or Mayor's Out. And what that is, let me explain it. Mayor's In is exactly what it sounds like. It's mayor's hours after 5 o'clock, so people can go to work and still be able to make it here. I will be here with office hours after 5 o'clock on a regular basis. In addition, department heads will be scheduled on those regular bases too. So this way residents can come in, and it's going to be like a one-stop shopping situation where you can come in, you see the mayor, maybe the problems with DPW. The department head from DPW will be there down the hall, and we'll be able to send you right down there to take care of those problems. So it's a one-stop shopping. The mayor's out, equally as obvious. I plan on touring the town and going to the residents' turf, wherever that may be, wherever you want me to come. You want me to come to a clubhouse, a classroom, a meeting hall, and I will come and speak with all the residents. I want to be accessible. I want to hear bad things, good things, just things that need to be done for the betterment of Brick. For those that do not want to come to council meetings and maybe do not want to come to these meetings, these meet and greets with the mayor in and mayor out, I'm also going to set up an email system. You can opt in and sign up for this email system where you're going to get reports from the administration, from myself, that says what's going on in town hall. This way everything's out there in the open. We also want to hear how we're doing. So what I'm going to be doing is putting out customer service surveys in every department in town hall and on our website. So when you or any resident goes into the clerk's office, the building department, or any other office, you can let us know how things went. And the feedback on the survey, if it's good or bad, is going to help us improve town hall and improve the services that we provide to you. So I want everybody, please, if you go to the building department with permits or something and you have any problems or anything great, either way, let us know on these customer surveys so that we know we can do something about it, or we can commend the person who needs the commendation. It's something that's going to be great feedback. We work for you. We work for the residents of Brick. And the more input you can give us how to improve things, the better we can be. The 100-day plan is not only about what happens here in Town Hall, but it's as a community as a whole. I want to work with business owners, people who own the businesses in Brick. I know we have the Chamber of Commerce, and they do an excellent job, but there hasn't been a lot of government interaction with the business owners of Brick. We're going to be forming an economic development committee to support existing businesses as well as try to get and encourage new businesses to come to Brick. One aspect of that, I'm going to be implementing a program that will give residents reductions on their property tax bills if they shop and dine locally with businesses that agree to be part of the program. So it's going to be a great opportunity to keep money here in Brick by spending money here in Brick, dining and shopping, and end up getting a reduction on your property tax bill because of being able to keep money here in Brick. Besides businesses, another aspect of our town is youth. So I plan on starting a Brick Teen Advisory Committee because I'd like to hear what high school students have to say about Brick. They may not be voting age yet, but they grew up here. They're going to continue living here. So I'd like to hear what their ideas are as to how to make Brick a better place. Young, fresh perspectives on what can be done here in Brick, I think, is very important. So I want to plan on making that committee and actually having them meet, come up with their ideas, and coming to a council meeting and presenting them. And hopefully we can go forward with most, if not all, of their ideas of what they have in mind for the town. I also want to work with the Senior Advisory Committee, reach out to them, obviously use their knowledge and their expertise to ensure, and also to ensure that all their needs are met here in town. Then there's Superstorm Sandy. It's a full year, more than a year now after the storm happened, but the impacts of Sandy, they're still here and they're still very prevalent. Some people who live on one side of the town might not think that Sandy's long over. It's definitely not. You just have to drive over to the other side of town, look at some of the lagoon areas, obviously the barrier island. Government has failed to help the residents in this, and in some cases, actually, the government actually made things worse for the victims of Sandy. We must do better. I'm going to create a Sandy Recovery and Mitigation Committee so that the Sandy issues can be dealt with by themselves. Right now, the Sandy issues are lumped in with land use, and there's a lot going on in land use, and land use is a committee that always existed, had their own issues to deal with, but Sandy was dumped on top of it. To me, we have to have a specialized committee just to deal with Sandy, recovery, and mitigation, and that's going to be created. It's the biggest issue facing our town. because Sandy didn't just affect those whose homes were destroyed or damaged by the storm. As a town as a whole, we lost millions and millions of dollars in ratables, spent millions and millions of dollars to clean up the damage. So we, as a result of that, we have to take a very, very hard and very, very close look at how our township government operates. We have to make it leaner, we have to make it more efficient and better to help make up for the lost revenues and the additional expenses that we've had. The 100-day plan is a way to implement that. I've spoken a couple times, and the ideas that I put forward are part of that 100-day plan. And I want to talk about that because it's important that we get off to a good start. We have a lot of work to do, and we have the right people in town to do the work. I want to quote John F. Kennedy, President John F. Kennedy. "All this will not be finished in the first 100 days, nor will it be finished in the first 1,000 days, nor in the life of this administration, nor perhaps in our lifetime on this planet. But let us begin." So, I'm asking that all of us, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, let's work together. I'm asking the seniors, the students, the parents, the children, let's work together. I'm asking the business owners, the homeowners, the summer and full-time residents, let's work together. I'm asking that all of us, mayor, council, township employees, and all the great people that live here in Brick, let's work together. Because only together can we make Brick better. Thank you for the trust you have placed in me. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. And a new Brick starts today for everyone here.
Thank you, Mayor Ducey. At this time, I would like to recognize our outgoing president, Councilman Bob Moore. If you'd like to share a remark with us.
Thank you very much. There's no way I'm going to follow that speech. Mr. Mayor, that was beautiful. Where do I start? First of all, I'm up here 2 years, and it's a pleasure to look out in the audience and see a bunch of beautiful and smiley faces. So, Happy New Year. I guess I'll start by saying this year was a tough year for me. Without my wife to support me and be by my side, I give her a lot of support and a lot of credit. You know, as president, you try to keep everybody on the same page. You're a leader up here, and you try to keep your council members, and you trying to keep everybody working together. You work with the administration, you try to keep them on the same page as you, and you try to keep things comfortable for everybody. And of course, working with the citizens of the town, you try to work everything out. Throughout the year, these two ladies supported me 100%. They reached out to prep my meetings for me, reached out to different organizations to set up meetings, made phone calls for me, and considered that every day they do a very good job, and that's Lynette and Jennifer. Jen, thank you very much. And of course, this last year, being president, I'd like to thank the citizens of the town. I met with many of you on weekends, during the night, going over Superstorm Sandy problems, different issues that you might have throughout the town. And I want to thank you for all your support for the past year, so thank you very much. And as you know, it was one hell of a year. First, I was dealing with Superstorm Sandy. And I said it before, and I would probably say it for one and final last time, that was one ugly woman. So, and then I was dealing with election year. And as you can see, we had a phenomenal turnout, and I couldn't be happier. Then I was dealing, only a couple months ago, I was dealing with the death of my father. And those that know me and my dad were very close. So with all that on my plate, you can sure say that I had a full plate. So I will continue to do my very best for the town. I'd like to welcome aboard the new council members. It's nice to see everybody up here, and the guys all look beautiful, and it's going to be a great year. I can see it. In closing, 2 years ago, I walked door to door with this fine gentleman. We talked about Pittsburgh Steelers. We had laughs. We talked about guy things. Now, today, he's our mayor. And he's one hell of a guy. And now that he's a father figure, and we talked about kids, and I have two, and now that he's a father figure, I'm sure I'll see him on the sports fields very soon. And so I cannot wish him and his family the very, very best. Congratulations, Mr. Ducey, and I'm happy to serve under you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Heather DeYoung.
Thank you, Council President. I would like to thank everybody for coming out this afternoon. It is a great honor to be elected councilwoman, and I will do my best to deserve this honor. I'm so glad that so many of my friends and neighbors and family are able to be here with me today. I know that I can count on your help as we all begin this job we were elected to do. Help govern for the benefit of Brick to make Brick better. I'd like to give a very special thank you to Mayor Dana Red, who came here to swear me in. It's been a very busy day for Mayor Red. She was sworn in at noon today for her second term as mayor. So I thank everybody for their patience. So thank you, Mayor Red. Dana is always the type of person to just squeeze in one more event, and she is an exceptional role model, especially encouraging and is supportive of women and female elected officials. I remember when I first told her that I was running, she said, "Heather, if not you, then who? If not now, then when?" And I will never forget that, so thank you very much for being here. During the campaign, going door to door and meeting our neighbors, I listened to their ideas and concerns about the future of Brick. What we heard most, of course, is, fix our property taxes and help get our town back on track. Our residents want that old feeling of a thriving community, great businesses, and a great place to live. Mayor Ducey, Council President Leidecker, myself, and the rest of the council are committed to addressing these and other concerns we heard during the campaign. As we just heard, Mayor Ducey presented some of his ideas for the 100-day plan, and he has very specific ideas for reducing spending and getting our town back on the right track. And I, for one, cannot wait to start helping to implement these reforms and initiatives. I promised some of the residents that if elected, I will always speak into the microphone and not be long-winded. So I will end with thanking my friends who, after their initial reaction of, "Are you sure you want to do this?" gave me great advice and were always there to listen. I would love to name all of you, but I know I will forget one of you, and you would absolutely never let me live that down. To my family who give me love, encouragement, and plain old common sense advice, thank you so much for supporting me in this endeavor. But more importantly, thank you for taking care of my dog, Dagny, who of course, we had a lot of late nights on the campaign trail, and when I would go pick her up, my mom would have dinner waiting there for me. So thank you so much for supporting me in everything that I do. And thank you to Brick for your trust and putting your faith in this council and me. And remember, we are all up here to serve you. I just want to wish everybody a very happy, safe, healthy, and prosperous new year, and thank you so much.
Thank you, Councilman Paul Momolo.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to thank everyone in the room for their support, and in the other room too, for joining us today. I'd like to thank everybody for voting, that voted for Team Ducey, and promise all of you, those who supported me and those who didn't, that I would do my best to do the right thing for Brick. It's been a great pleasure that I take this opportunity to serve as councilman for Brick. Over the past 5 months, I've got to get a great deal of respect for our new mayor, John Ducey, as well as my fellow council women and men. I'm excited to be part of this group, hardworking group, and dedicated team. I can proudly say that my wife and I have been residents for Brick for 45 years. We're both graduates of Brick Public Schools, as are our 2 children, which are present today. Throughout our life, we've seen our town grow and change to a great place that it is today. And while I was campaigning, I got to meet many of the folks of Brick. Residents listened to their praise, their concerns, and their passion for the town that we live in. Property taxes were always top of the list. And despite the challenges that lie ahead with lost revenue from Superstorm Sandy, state cuts, our team with the mayor are going to look into every way possible to decrease costs to prevent them from rising in the future. My promise to Brick is simple and straightforward. I will give the community my very best, and will make decisions, as I hope you all would, to ensure our community remains affordable and to make it stronger and safer for its residents. I'd like to thank my family for their support. I'd like to thank Charles Starkey for swearing me in. It was a great honor. And thank you, and here's to a healthy and happy 2014. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Mariana Ponterero.
Thank you, Madam President. I am thrilled and honored to sit before you as your newest councilwoman. I never imagined that I'd be sitting in this position. I found myself led to this position because I wanted to see better for Brick. And I am confident under the leadership of our new mayor, John Ducey, and with the assistance of my running mates, Paul Mumolo, Heather DeYoung, and with the assistance of existing council, we will be able to make Brick better. I'm here, for the most part, for my family. You got to see my 3 small children and probably hear them through most of the proceedings today. It is my biggest honor to stand here as a mother, because it's important for me that my children be able to see how important service to their community is, and how important it is for each and every one of us to care about our fellow residents, to care about the decisions that are made by our government, and to be a part of it. I want to thank the unending support of my family, my mother Susan, my father Joseph, who provided me with the tools that I needed from a very young age to be able to fulfill this role. The support of my wife, Crystal, who has dealt with being a 2-mom household without 1 mom for many, many, many nights, and I'm sure she'll continue to do that for the next 4 years, so I appreciate that. My sister Susan, who serves as not only my law partner, but also my best friend, and also my uncle Michael, who is my godfather and here to support me today, as well as my brother-in-law, Paul, who's here to support me today. Most importantly, I want to thank all of you. And when I say all of you, I don't just mean the people who are in this room and the spillover room, but the people of Brick who had the confidence in me to cast their vote to make Brick better. I promise I will work tirelessly not to let you down, to do my absolute best to make every decision count. Thank you, and have a wonderful 2014.
Thank you. Council Vice President James Bosman.
Thank you, Council President. I'd like to welcome everybody to the 2014 reorganizational meeting. Today is a very exciting day, and I am excited about Brick Township, which with each year comes a new beginning. And I look forward to implementation of new ideas and working together with for the benefit of our community. I am very pleased in welcoming Mayor Ducey and the new council members, Heather, Mariana, and Paul. I am looking forward to working with them on the new ideas and some ideas that the council has been working on for the past 2 years. We will have an open line of communication with department heads to discuss new ideas without fear of reprisals. Community involvement is an important part of change in our town, and I look forward to working with everyone to achieve common goals which will help to move Brick Township forward. I'd like to and thank you, Honorable Bill, Mayor Bill Schroeder, for swearing me in as Council Vice President. It's an honor, and it was, in 2012, it was also an honor when you swore me in. I'd like to thank my council colleagues for your vote of confidence today. I'd like to also thank my wife for putting up with me for all the hours for the last 2 years. I'd like to thank the VFW, the Boy Scouts, Marissa for the nice song. It was great. And also Reverend Dean and Rabbi Robert, thank you. Here is wishing everyone a wonderful community, happy, safe, and healthy, prosperous New Year. Thank you.
Well, welcome everybody. Thank you for coming out today. In my first speech that I gave when I was newly elected, I forgot inadvertently to thank my husband. Everyone in the world except for my husband. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity and the support to serve the residents of Brick and to fulfill a goal that I worked so hard for. Thank you. Today is a momentous occasion for this council. We now have the opportunity to pave a new path for the future of our town and our residents. We have the ability to present new and sensible ideas, and now we have the leadership to institute them. I've gotten to know our new council members over this past year, and I feel confident in their beliefs and their excitement and their dedication and commitment to making Brick better. I'm looking forward to working with them as colleagues and as friends. There will be many difficult decisions ahead of us, and we may not always get along or agree, but through mutual respect, common goals, and common sense, we will accomplish what we have set out to do, and that is improving the quality of life for every resident in Brick. When I first came onto this council, we elected Councilman John Ducey as our president. And with that came civility and trust. Trust in knowing that when you come before this council with an issue, he would do his very best to make sure that your issue was solved. I expect nothing less, but even more as our new mayor. In 2013, we elected Councilman Bob Moore as our president, and he continued the tradition of civility in an election year, no less, and performed very responsibly and did an exceptional job. Thank you.
Thank you.
Councilman Moore leads with his heart and takes the responsibility of a governing official very seriously. He is always working towards what is best for our residents, and I congratulate him on a successful year and a job well done. If you can come to the podium with me, please.
Sure.
I'd like to present to our outgoing council president, Robert Bobby Moore, with this plaque of our appreciation for leading our council in 2013. I thank my council colleagues for their confidence in me to lead the council in 2014. I will do my very best to serve this council and our community to the best of my ability, and I know that with your support, we can all accomplish great things. As I welcome in our new members, I wish them the best of luck in the coming years. But now, it is time to govern, and it is time to get to work. I'm going to give everyone an opportunity to stretch their legs if you'd like to. I know my son is probably ready to go. So I'm going to give everybody a few minutes, maybe 5 minutes before we reconvene, and then we will continue on to the consent agenda. Thank you.
going on, big guy? Good, excellent. Happy New Year.
Us ushering people out
We lost
the
two.
door.
We won one, lost two.
Thank you.
Bobby 7-8. Yeah. See you later.
That gavel meant nothing.
Do it again.
Yeah. You go, girl.
I think so.
Just.
Yeah?
No quiet.
Susan, is it hammer time?
It's
Go hammer.
Go.
Thank you. At this time, we are going to open up to resolution number 22 on your agenda. This resolution is to authorize the advice and consent for fair and open professional services contract with our municipal attorney. I'd like a call for a motion and a second, please.
Like to make a motion?
Second.
Motion by Councilman Moore, seconded by Councilman Fosman. Roll call, please.
Councilman Moore.
I'm sorry, excuse me. We are going to open that to the public. Thank you. Would anybody like to make comments on our township attorney? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
Vice President Fosman.
Yes.
President Leidecker.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Moving on to number 23, mayor's appointments.
Mayor's appointments.
What information do I have?
He's got it.
The Architectural Review Committee, Charlie Bacon, Mike Petrioli, Scott Berkland, Michael Troncone, Frank Miser, and Dennis Rafferty. Environmental Commission, Sharon Ercoliani, Anthony Esposito, Leah Thiel, George Frame, and Richard Opikun. Historic Preservation, Mark Story Jenks, Cheryl Daniels, Richard Dyer, and Christine Scheiss. The MACRE Committee, John Hyphantis, Janine Cava Rogers, Bob Checkeye, Bill Neefsey, Louise Brennan, and Joe Lamb. Planning Board, Brad Clayton, John Mention, Mike Troncone, Art Halloran, and Richard Kramer. Shade Tree Commission, Suzanne Dyer and Garrett Tony Kono. And Trap, Neuter, and Release, Ann Craig, Jerry Kelly, and Doreen Gessline.
Thank you. Number 20. Thank you. Number 24, motion and a second to appoint Class 3 Planning Board member.
Like to make a motion?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Who made the second? I'm sorry.
Oh,
I did.
And
Oh,
you were
second.
nominating,
Council President, I recommend you nominate a specific person.
okay. Would you like to make a nomination?
I'd like to nominate Councilman Paul Mumolo.
I'll second that nomination. Thank you. Seeing any other motions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Councilman Moore.
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung.
Yes.
Councilman Mumolo.
Yes.
Councilwoman Pontorero.
Yes.
Vice President Fosman.
Yes.
President Leidecker.
Yes. I would like to extend an apology for everyone that's come today. Usually I use my laptop. I'm not used to shuffling papers. So if it takes me an extra moment to get it together, I appreciate your patience with that. Moving on to the consent agenda. All matters listed under items consent agenda will be enacted by one motion in the form listed below. If discussion is desired on any item, this item will be removed from the consent agenda and shall be considered separately. I'm going to remove the grantsman, which is number 5. We are not ready with our paperwork yet. 25.1, resolution, establish council meeting dates for 2014. Resolution 2, authorize 2014 temporary budget. Mr. Pizarros, would you like to enlighten us on that, please?
This is just for the first 90 days of any given year. We are allowed to set up by law a temporary budget until an actual budget is adopted by the council to run the business of the town.
Thank you. Questions or comments by the council? Resolution number 3, establish bank depositories and cash management plan for 2014. Mr. Pizarros?
This is a required resolution by statute under 40A5, which is the fiscal statute, and we just established the banks that we do business with, and we also incorporate a caveat into that resolution that says that any bank or financial institution that should obtain a governmental unit depository protection act certificate, we can also do business in, so this way it doesn't preclude us from doing business with any bank that has that certification.
Thank you. Questions or comments by the council? Okay. 25-6, authorize mayor to enter into fair and open professional services contract for certain legal services pool. I apologize, we are on number 4. I like my laptop. Authorize mayor to enter into fair and open professional services contract with the municipal auditor, the firm being Fallon and Larson LLP. Number 6, authorize mayor to enter into fair and open professional services contract for certain legal services pool. The attorney pool being Susan McCabe, Wisniewski and Associates, Gertner, Mandel and Pelslack, King, Kittrick, Jackson and McWeeny, Deegan, Brophy, Florio, Percucci, Steinhardt and Fader, Massachusetts and Ventulio, I apologize. Charles P. Tiverton, Leitner, Tort DeFazio, Leitner and Brous, Weiner and Lesniak, Gilmore and Minahan, Shane, Schaefer, and Raffanello. Labor Council, Decotis, Fitzpatrick, and Cole. Number 7, authorize mayor to enter into fair and open professional services contract with legal counsel for redevelopment issues. That firm being McMahon, Scotland, and Bauman. Number 8, authorize advice and consent for fair and open professional services contract with the municipal prosecutor, alternate prosecutor, and conflict prosecutor. The municipal prosecutor being Michael Burns, firm of Rothstein, Mandel, Strom, and Halm. Alternate prosecutor Glenn Harrison Esquire, Eric D. Brophy, firm of Deegan and Brophy, Eli Etan Esquire, Gregory Tomzak, firm of Ambrosio and Tomzak, Joy Michelle Tomzak, firm of Ambrosio and Tomzak. Conflict prosecutor Eric D. Brophy, firm of Deegan and Brophy, Gregory Tomzak, firm of Ambrosio and Tomzak, and Joy Michelle Tomzak, firm of Ambrosio and Tomzak. Number 9, authorize advice and consent for fair and open professional services contract with municipal public defender, alternate public defender, and conflict public defender. The municipal public defender is Matthew Sage, law firm of Matthew Sage. Alternate public defender, Nicholas Montenegro of Montenegro, Thompson, Montenegro, and Jens. Ben Montenegro, firm of Montenegro, Thompson, Montenegro, and Jens. Michael V. Elward, firm of Montenegro, Thompson, Montenegro, and Jens. O. Nicholas Minaco, firm of Montenegro, Thompson, Montenegro, and Jens. Charles Tiverton, Esquire. Adam Stewerman, firm of Fitzsimmons, Cantonoli, Bogan, and West. Raymond D. Bogan, firm of Sims, Fitzsimmons, Cantoli, Bogan, and West. Matthew Saris, Esquire. Eli Etan, Esquire. Lieb Klein, Esquire. Sean D. Gertner, firm of Gertner, Mandel, and Peslack. Matthew Hegan, firm of Hegan, Pagano, and Seams. Conflict public defender, Matthew Sage. Nicholas C. Montenegro, Ben Montenegro, and Michael L. Word, as well as O. Nicholas Monaco, all in the firm of Montenegro, Thompson, Montenegro, and Jens. Charles Tiverton, Esquire, Adam Stewerman, and Ray Bogan, a firm of Sin, Fitzsimmons, Cantoli, Bogan, and West. Michael Saris, Esquire, Carolyn S. Carlson, Esquire, Lieb Klein, Esquire, and Sean D. Gertner, firm of Gertner, Mandel, and Peslack. Resolution 10, authorize mayor to enter into fair and open professional services contract for engineering, surveying, and environmental engineering pool. The engineering surveying pool, CME Associates, Adam Raymond and Hegan. Matrix New World, Mazer Consulting, Carroll Engineering, Geller, Sieve & Co. Environmental engineering pool is Prestige Environmental, CME Associates, Adams, Raymond, and Hegan, Matrix New World, and Mazer Consulting. Number 11, authorize mayor to enter into fair and open professional services contract for employee vision and dental health benefits program. That firm will be Berger Financial Group, doing business as Creative Financial Group of New Jersey. Number 12, authorize mayor to enter into fair and open professional services contract for employee health benefits program. That firm will be Fairview Insurance Agency Associates. Number 13, authorize mayor to enter into fair and open professional services contracts for accounting services. And that accounting servicing firm is Bowman and Company. Number 14, authorize appointments to the Board of Adjustment. That is Frank Miser, Dennis Rafferty, Dawn Marie White, and Joseph Morel, and Richard Kramer.
No, it's Jennifer Grenier.
I'm sorry?
There was a
Typo.
typo. It is Jennifer J. Grenier and not Richard Kramer.
Oh, thank you very much. I apologize to Mr. Kramer. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Number 15, authorize appointments to the Trap, Neuter, and Release Committee. Councilwoman Mariana Pontanero, Helen Quinn, and Jennifer Papa Erickson. I know, sweetheart, it's almost over. Authorize appointments to the Ethics Information Committee. That would be myself, Council President Susan Lydecker, Councilwoman Heather D. Young, Councilwoman Mariana Pontanero, Kathy Russell, Lynn Miser, and Barbara Riley. Number 17, authorize appointments to the Tourist Development Commission. Juan Santamaria and Rob Counselor, Chiran Patel and Patrick Cuvier, and Councilwoman Heather Lydecker.
Dion.
That, on number 4 is...
That would be Heather DeYoung. I apologize. We're going to get through this quickly.
That number D is Patrick Kirchie. That's a
Kirchie?
typo, Kirchie.
Thank you very much. Number 18, appoint commissioner to the Housing Authority. That would be Ms. Vera Fosman. Number 19, recognize the 2014 incoming officers. There are quite a few, and I'm going to call on my council to help me. Councilman Bob Moore, can you please begin?
With the
A, Brick Volunteer,
Brick Volunteer
EMS
EMS Squad?
Could you read off their names, please?
I don't have it.
Oh, it's President Douglas Darhofer. Sorry, I'm going to butcher him. Vice President Linda Mara, Secretary Mary Ferguson, Treasurer Trudy San Jose, Trustees Mark McGeehan, Taylor Shellheimer, Captain Kevin Gillespie, First Lieutenant Kyle Fleming, Second Lieutenant Saul Milworm, Second Lieutenant George San Jose. And that was the Brick Township Volunteer EMS.
Thank you. Councilman Mumolo, could you help me with the next one, B, Brenton Woods Fire Company?
Sure. President Christopher Fredericks, Vice President William Curtis, Trustee Steve Gerling, Trustee Ray Ostarteki, I'm sure I butchered that one up, Trustee Barry Weiner, Trustee Richard Morari, Chief Kevin Esposito, Assistant Chief David, Ostrowski, Captain Robert Tarullo, Lieutenant Chris Ostrowski, and Lieutenant Brian Steer, and Engineer Bill Anduki.
Thank you very
Close.
much. Councilwoman.
That was close.
Councilwoman Pontanero, can you please help me with Herbertsville Fire Company?
Absolutely. We have President Paul Matula, Vice President Michael DeCandia, Treasurer Barry Osborne, and Assistant Treasurer James Lepore, Chief Mark Christensen, Assistant Chief William Robbins, Captain Dave Sanchez, First Lieutenant James Lepore, Lieutenant Daniel Sanchez, and Second Lieutenant Michael DeCandia.
Thank you very much. Councilman Fosman, would you like to help me with the Laurelton Fire Company?
Yes, Council President. President David May, Vice President John Crusoe, Treasurer Joseph Polowitz, Recording Secretary William Baer, Recording Secretary David Woes, Sergeant of Arms Patrick Sharkey, Trustee Robert Skillman, Chief David
Bernberg.
Hammerberg, Assistant Chief Edward Platt, Captains Chris Ackerman, Michael Preddy, and Joe Zelensky.
Thank you very much. And for Pioneer Hose Fire Company, we welcome in President Mike Berger, Vice President Bill Magnuson, Secretary Anthony Phoebus, Treasurer John Coaster, Trustees Jeff Bonsignor, Ed Slowinski, Chief Jim Cathins, Assistant Chief Joe Licanandro, Captain Dave Lindholm, and Lieutenant Ron Gaskill, which is the Junior Engineer John Coaster. Whew, that was a mouthful. Thank you very much. We added onto the agenda number 20, authorize appointments to the Property Maintenance Board. And I do have that in front of me. And those members will be Joseph Gilson, George Savasco, Richard Mattson, George Scott, and Carmine Villani. Thank you, everyone, for putting in your time and effort to volunteer for our community. We greatly appreciate it. This is the end of the consent agenda. Now I will call for a motion and a second for the end of the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion.
I second.
Made the motion by Councilwoman DeYoung and seconded by Councilman Fosman. I'd like to open this to the public for any questions or concerns. Yes, Mr. Slunga. And your comments will be just on the 20 items listed for the consent agenda. Oh, I apologize. Thank you. This is
Just on the consent.
public for the resolution consent agenda.
And then you can do public again?
Yes, we will.
I'll wait for it then.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm gonna hit the
Okay. Seeing none, I will close the public. Oh, I apologize, sir. I didn't see your hand. Please come up. Thank you, Mr. Pizarris.
Is this thing on?
Yes, sir.
Hello, everyone.
How are you doing?
I'm President of Brick, and I voted for that man.
Excuse me, sir. Could you please start with your name and address?
I apologize, man. Forgive me. My name is Kareem Moyer. I live at 1200 Route 70 West here in
Thank
Brick.
you.
Now, my question is, I'd like to know what's going on with that property where Food Town was at.
Oh, sir, we're only working on the consent agenda now, but I'd be more than happy to bring you up for regular public comments where you can discuss any issue that you would like.
Okay.
This is just on items 1 through 20.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments for the public? Seeing none, I'll close public and ask for roll call.
Councilman Moore?
Yes.
Councilwoman DeYoung?
Yes.
Councilman Mumalo?
Yes.
Councilwoman Ponerero?
Yes.
Vice President Fosman?
Abstain on Housing Authority and yes to the rest.
President Leidecker?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. That is the end of the consent agenda, and now we will reopen for public comments. I'm going to call Mr. Slunka up since he was ready and waiting.
I didn't know you had public comment today. So, John Sluka, 950 Sylvia Court, Evergreen Woods. I guess I'll get everybody's email eventually and your regular mail and stuff like that because for the next 2 years, you'll be getting my letters. Different letter every week, so I'm not going to repeat myself. Okay. First of all, congratulations to the mayor and all the council people. Sorry I was a little bit late. I only found out yesterday that we could do this today. I wasn't even sure there was a public comment portion. So I love the idea of the 100-day plan. It's nice to know that somebody's going to try to be held accountable. 71 items. Also, with the council, I want the council to continue working for the destruction of the environment of Brick against the Turnpike Authority. Obviously, it's bothering people. People are sick, and people are doing things. Hopefully, we will not be forgotten. There are thousands of residents impacted on a daily basis. Okay. Yes, Sandy impacted us all, but the Parkway environmental catastrophe has done the same to both sides of the Parkway, to its people, to the people in the neighborhood. Every day, over the last 14 months, Sandy was 12 and a half, our children and old-timers like myself feel the impacts of the noise and the toxins that we continue to receive in a daily basis. Big government agencies like the Turnpike Authority feel they can run this country and this state, but we must go back to the power to the people. I urge the council to continue, and you've done a great job so far, to address the concerns of the thousands of Brick residents, and I urge Mayor Ducey to add number 72 to that 100-day item. He only has 71, and I'm looking for something to say. The trees will be planted by the end of that 100 days. That's the spring. And also continue to work for everything else we've been working for. This has impacted thousands of residents, even those who have given up on our government. You said get the kids involved. The adults aren't involved because they said nobody will do anything. Knock on the thousands of doors and you will hear it. Let's not forget government of the people, by the people, for the people, and congratulations all. And again, we yield back about 2.5 minutes. I'll have more to say next time. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Would the gentleman in the back like to come back up? Hello. Your name and address one more time, please.
Kareem Moyer, 1200 Route 70 West. You want to know my apartment number too?
No, that's okay.
I would like to know what's going on with that area. It looked like it's just like one big parking lot, but there are no cars there. So I know that, like, I think a couple years ago, last year, something like that, they tore the building down. But now what they gonna do with it? Now, I was walking up here, to come up here today from home, and I saw, and I thought about, it's turning into a city. So why not have a homeless shelter there? I mean, there's a church right next door, so they can go and praise the Lord, do what they gotta do, and like have a homeless shelter like right there. Just a notion.
Okay. Well, I think that's a good, very commendable idea. I don't think that idea has been brought before the redevelopment committee board before. This council will be establishing a new redevelopment committee, and the first meeting of the month, we will have committee updates. So hopefully we will have more answers to your question come the 7th. Right now, I can't speak for the whole council of what will happen with that site at this time.
All right. Now what I want to know about the technology. Y'all have a technology department, correct?
We do.
All right. Who's in charge of that?
The gentleman is here today. Would you like to speak with him?
If I could, please.
Okay. Well, he's not in this room at this time, but you can contact our council office, and they would be happy to put you in touch with him.
All right. Thank you.
Okay? Thank you. Jen, would you like to take care of that after the meeting? Thank you. Would anyone else for the public like to be heard today? Okay. Seeing none, I'm going to close public comments, and I would like to invite Rabbi Robert Rubin for our closing prayer to the podium.
Thank you, and certainly the beginning of a Brick Township Council session and the beginning of the new year, calendar year, gives us an opportunity for reflection. And I'd like to share this prayer with you, written by a colleague and friend of mine, Rabbi Perry Rayfield Rank. May this day be a time for reflection. Where have we been this past year, and where will we go in the new year? May we be blessed with physical vitality as we earn our livelihood. May we and our families suffer no misfortune, physical or emotional, as time unfolds. May our attitudes be positive and our lives purposeful. May we find the time to render the good deed and speak the kind word. May we be granted the wisdom to pursue life, liberty, and happiness, not only for ourselves, but for all. May our community be enriched by diversity as neighbors, representing so many different walks of life, interact with each other. May our community remain one and indivisible, liberated and honest. And may our leaders be inspired, not only by acts of so many noble men and women who have preceded them, but by the God of the universe who wants us all to live in peace. Amen and Happy New Year.
Amen.
Thank you, Rabbi, for your inspirational words. We appreciate it. Before we adjourn, I'd like to invite everyone to a congratulatory party down at the River Rock Restaurant, Bar and Marina. It begins at 5, so I think we have just enough time to get there on time. Motion and second to adjourn, please.
Make a motion?
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Moore, seconded by Jim Fosman. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Thank you. Our meeting is closed.